Say yesterday writing Selenium test cases part 1. Today writing Selenium test cases part 2. Last test case 4. Verify customer registration in GCR Shop Web Portal pending. Complete that script. See, verification point. You capture that message. Launch the browser. Next, gcrit.com/build3. Create an account. Enter all mandatory fields. Just a minute. Suppose 10/10/. Next, email address abcdertyu Gmail. It checks only email format. It doesn't check whether the email is exist or not. Next, pin code, city, state, country. Next, telephone number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next, password, suppose ABCD123. Next, confirm ABCD123. Continue. Inspect the element. Take mouse pointer and show the element. Say it is header, text area, no ID, no name, no class name available. Then how to locate this element? Virat, Supriya.
Can we take XPath?
XPath, go for XPath. Just a minute. Show this element. Take the XPath. Say string message equals to driver dot. Continue, Supriya. Driver dot.
Get title.
We are not getting title. Returning text area. How to return text area?
Get text.
Get text. Tell me the complete syntax. You tell me, Ritesh.
So it will be driver dot find element.
By dot suppose XPath value dot get text. Okay. Next.
Since it is just a text, can we do like can we find out that with the driver.h1, since it's only one heading h1?
Driver dot?
Yeah, driver dot find element by h1 or something.
What is h1?
It's a heading one on the HTML, right? HTML
heading?
Page.
Just a minute.
Yeah, it's an input tag.
Input tag. Header.
Yes.
You try with that one. Just a minute. H1 tag. What is the What is the element locator?
Uh, t- Tag, like
Tag
new
name
tag. Yeah, tag name.
driver dot find element. Just a minute. Find element by dot
By
tag name.
tag name.
Tag name value. Tag name value h1 na. Just a minute.
Yeah, or just the H1, right?
H1 dot get
Get
text. Just a minute. Display this one. Message. See every time unique email. Okay, try run the program. Put mute. Avoid the disturbance. Returning. You can use tag name also. Hello.
cool.
You can use
Yeah, it's
tag name
detected
also.
tag name. Okay.
Tag name or XPath. You can try. Okay. Suppose tag name.
Yeah.
Next. Just a minute. Display statement not required. Next. Condition. Write the condition. If message it is a string na dot equals message dot equals expected. This one message is sensitive dot not dot equals of open curly braces. Next enter meaningful message. Suppose customer registration successful passed. Customer registration successful passed. Customer registration successful passed. Else failed. Customer registration unsuccessful failed. Okay. At the end driver dot close. Run the program. See launching. Click create account link. Enter all mandatory fields. Click continue. Observe Ritesh. Customer registration successful passed na.
Yes, sir. That's with the XPath, right? Oh,
We, we used tag name only. You can
tag
use
name.
XPath also.
Mm-hmm.
See next test case. Login. Customer login. Observe. Just a minute. Customer login. Home page. Here login link is there. Just a minute. Observe Pradvipal, Suleiman, Suleiman. Okay. Observe Pradvipal,
Yes, sir.
login functionality. Okay. See first launch home
Create.
page, click login link. We already registered now. Enter
Yes, sir.
email address. What is that email
Password.
address? Just a minute. Here email address
ABC.
is there. Enter email address. Next, enter password ABCD123. Click sign in button. Login. Here you can verify existence of log off link. If log off exists, then pass, otherwise fail. Okay,
Failed.
na?
Okay, sir.
Guide me just a minute.
So first write down manual test
Manual test
A
steps. Just a minute.
step.
Just a minute. Manual steps. Test case 5. Verify customer login. Verify customer login in GCR shop
Yeah. So
web portal or website. Okay. Next, test steps. We already navigated now. Tell me the test steps. First one,
launch the browser.
launch the browser. Next,
Navigate to
just a minute. Navigate to URL.
login home.
You take that URL. Just a minute. gcrit.com build
So this is
3.
the up build. No, this build 3 up.
Build 3. Next, click login link. Login link. Next,
Enter the username
enter
or
email
login
address. Enter
email address.
email address. Email address. Next,
Enter the password.
enter password. Enter password. Next, click sign in button. Click sign in button.
Sign in button.
Just a minute. Launch the browser. Navigate to so and so URL. Enter email address. Enter. Click login link. Enter email address. Enter password. Next, click sign in button. These are the normal steps. Click sign in button.
Sign in.
Okay. Next,
Verification
input
point.
data.
Input data.
Input data. First one, email address. Email address. Just a minute. In this only available now. We already registered. See, this is email address. Next, password.
Password.
ABCD123. Next, verification point.
Yeah.
Verification point. What is the verification point? Check the
Check
existence
the
of log off link.
log off button.
If exists, then pass, otherwise fail.
Failed.
See, check the existence
Then
of log
Log
of
of link.
log of link. If exists, then if it exists, then pass,
Passed.
otherwise fail. Otherwise fail.
Failed.
Okay. Next, here we are using element checking element existence na. For
Yes,
checking
sir.
element existence, exception required na.
Yes, sir. Exception.
Exception required. See, exception handling.
Handling.
What is that exception? Insert no. What is the exception? No such element.
Not such element.
No such element exception. Okay. Next, Selenium WebDriver test case. Just a minute. Selenium WebDriver test case. Before that, inspect elements. Inspect.
Elements.
Just a minute. Inspect elements. Here, first we need to navigate, launch browser, then click login link. Login
Okay.
link. That is visible text na login. Just a minute. Log off. Next, home page. Login. You
Yes,
can
sir.
use link text. See, login. Login link. Element locator. Link text.
Text.
This is only understanding purpose. You no need to write
Okay, sir.
inspect elements in Selenium WebDriver test case. Okay,
Okay. Okay, sir.
just understanding. Link text. Link text value same. Login only.
login.
This is one element. Next, after login, click
Email
email
address.
address. Email address.
Edit box.
Edit box. Email address. Edit box. Email address. Edit box. Inspect the
Right.
element, take mouse pointer, show the element. For this, no ID available, but name available
Name.
na.
Yes. Name. Email underscore
Name
address.
available. You try with name, name, name value, email address. Next, password.
Password.
Password. Just a minute. Password. Password also edit box. Password edit box. Inspect the element. Take mouse pointer and show the edit box. See, for this password also no ID. Next, name
Name.
available. Take the name
Password.
value. Name value. Password small letters. Name. Password. Next,
Login button.
sign in button is there. Show the button. For this ID is there. ID
Yes, sir. ID.
TDB5. TDB5. See, sign in.
Button.
Sign in button. ID locator. What is the ID locator value?
TD.
TDB5. See elements. Just a minute. in this test case we need to navigate 4 elements, 5 elements total, log off also. We need to identify log off also. Just a minute. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Click sign in. Next log off. Show the log off link only. Span tag. Okay,
Class
you try with link text. Otherwise, you can use another locator. Try with link
class
text. Link text. What is the link text? Log off. Link text.
log off.
Log off. Okay. See, in this test case, these 5 elements required. Next,
Okay, sir.
come to mainstream. Just a minute. Create WebDriver. Oh,
WebDriver.
just a minute. Just a minute. Driver script already there.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. Create Firefox driver. Then navigate to build 3. Okay. Next, continue.
Mm. Driver dot find elements.
Why it is showing error? This last one.
So two one.
One curly brace for this class, another for this one. Okay.
Okay,
There
sir.
is a two dot, two dot after import line.
After import
Is that
line,
the error? Yeah, import java.util.scanner.
uh,
After that,
Yes,
is
sir.
it
Something
dot?
some box or
that is total imports, no issue. See now it is not showing any error. Continue, Pradvipal.
sir. Driver dot get find element. Sorry, driver dot
Driver dot
find elements
find element
by
by
name.
dot link text.
By
What is
link
the link
text.
text
Link text.
value? Login.
Login.
Login. Operation
Dot click.
click. Next,
Open the driver
driver
dot find
dot
element
find element
by
by
name.
dot name.
By name, sir.
Name. What is the
Name
edit
value.
box name? Just a minute. Edit box
Pass
name.
login password.
This one.
Email address.
Email address. Email address. Email address. Dot send
Send keys.
keys
Send keys. Values.
value.
Email address.
Input data is there now. Input data. Where is that
Okay.
input data? This one. We already registered. Take this value. Next,
Driver dot find element by name.
driver dot find element by dot name value
Password.
password.
Dot,
Next,
dot
dot
send keys.
send keys of password value
ABCD 1 2 3.
ABCD 1 2 3. Next, click button, sign in button.
Driver
Driver
dot
dot
find element.
find element by dot, that is ID available. ID. What is the
ID
ID
value.
value? We already
T TDB.
TDB5. TDB5 dot click operation.
Click.
Click. Next, uh, after
Check
click,
the
check the existence of link.
so verification.
Verification
If
point. If
uh,
driver, we are
the
directly capturing the displayed status and comparing. Driver dot find element
elements
by dot link text
link text,
of
link text value log
log
of
of log of dot is displayed equals to
displayed.
true. True is optional na. True
It's a
is
default, yes sir.
true is default na.
Yes sir.
It is default, so no need to write. Next, enter any meaningful message. Suppose
System
log of link,
is
log of
exist.
link exists, or otherwise customer registration successful passed. Customer registration
Successful pass.
registration successful passed. Next, else,
Else
just a minute. Unsuccessful.
failed.
Customer registration unsuccessful, failed. Just a minute. Failed. Next, after the condition, driver
Exception.
dot close. What is the problem? One more.
else part brace, curly brace.
Else part, we need to open the curly brace. Next, one more curly brace. Driver dot close. Okay. Run the program. Input. We are using valid inputs. Expected pass. Expected test case status. Status. Run the program. It is
Sir,
struggling.
I I think in
Just a
16th
minute.
line.
Just a minute. Unable to locate. Log on. Spelling mistake. Spelling mistake. Run the program. Just a minute. Click login link. Observe Prithvipal. What is the result status?
Is passed.
Passed. For example, use invalid input.
Data.
It has to handle. Our expected result status is customer registration unsuccessful,
Success. Failed.
unsuccessful, failed. Observe. See, instead of failed status, it is showing exception. No such element. Here, exception handling required. Okay, Pradvipal, you put mute.
Okay, sir.
Guide me, Saloni. Guide me, Saloni. Exception. No such element exception. Yesterday, we used that exception. I want exception for log off link. Use try catch block.
Yes, sir. Try.
Where? Where? Tell me the line number.
I think
Okay.
15.
No. You continue, Mamata.
Sir, before if.
Before if condition. Good. Before if condition. Try, open curly braces. Next, close try black. Close try black after if. After if block. Next, instead of else, write catch block. Catch, open parenthesis. Exception name. No such element. No such element. Exception. Next, exception name. Open curly braces. You can use the error handling codes. For example, unsuccessful failed. Close curly braces. Run the program. Observe Mamata. Customer registration unsuccessful, failed na?
Yes, sir.
Next,
Yes, sir.
use valid input. Valid input. This time it has to show customer registration successful, passed. See, executing. Observe. Customer registration successful, passed. Okay now, Virat, did you understand the script?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question. Like, do we have to use this exception handling on every validation point?
Validation?
Every time for the validation point we use the if condition or any of the logic, right?
No. Not for every scenario. Only for checking the element. Suppose if you verify URL, for that no exception required.
Oh, okay.
It is only for elements. Here we are checking the existence of element. Suppose if you are verifying any URL, for that no exception required.
Yes. So only the existence of element we are checking, then it's better to use the exception handling, right?
We must use the exception for checking element existence. That is mandatory. Otherwise, for failed scenario, it will show error.
Oh, okay.
See, we have to get either pass or fail. If it is fail, then defect. If it is pass, no defect. Error means test script problem.
Yes.
Okay, na?
Yeah, got it, sir.
Okay. See. This is WebDriver test script. Next, we already discussed once again, and I will show different shades. First, verify admin login functionality. Test case number 6. Test case 6. Verify admin login functionality. Admin login functionality in GCR shop web portal admin interface. See, every web application having two interfaces. One is admin interface, another is user interface. Admin interface. See, admin interface access only for admin users, not for end users. Only client user interface for only only user interface for end users. Admin interface only for admin users. See, portal admin interface. This is verification point. Just a minute. Verification point for valid input. Next, test case 7. Test case 7. Verify admin login functionality. Next, verification point for valid input and invalid input. Invalid input. See, we have to execute the 7th test case twice. First valid input, next invalid input. Next, without changing the input data, execute valid and invalid input. See, continuously positive and negative testing with valid and invalid inputs without changing the data. See, first I am taking 6th test case. 6th case. Mamata, guide me, Mamata. Just a minute. What is the test case? First to use
Verify
valid
admin login function.
login functionality. Just a minute. You take this one. Verify admin login functionality. Verification point for valid input. Observe the navigation. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay. First launch the browser. Next navigate to admin interface. Enter username. Admin. Enter password. Admin at 123. Click login. Next verification point. What is the verification point here? You try this one. Admin
URL.
login. Admin URL. Otherwise you can check log off link also. Okay, Ritesh. URL. What is the URL? Index PHP. Before login.
It's different, sir. Login.
Different. Login page. Login.php. After login index. Okay. By checking the URL, you can confirm login functionality. Otherwise, you can go for another. Suppose checking log off link existence, etc. You try with this one. Guide me first. Just a minute. First steps.
Launch the browser.
Just a minute. Test steps. First step, launch the browser. Launch the browser. Next,
Navigate to the URL.
Navigate to
Admin.
URL. See. Navigate to, what is that URL? Up to build 3. Oh, just a minute. Build 3 admin interface. Navigate to admin interface. Next.
Click on admin.
Not required. You can launch admin interface directly.
Oh, okay. It's a directly admin interface.
Direct
Then
URL.
inspect the username and the password elements.
Enter
Username.
Next.
And password. Enter password.
Enter password. Next.
Click on login button.
Click login button. Login. Just a minute. As login button. See, this is the navigation. Next, input data.
Input data, username and password.
Yes, username, admin. Next, password, admin at 123. Next, verification point. Capture.
Okay.
Capture the URL after login and compare with expected. Okay. Next, expected URL. This one. Okay. Next, Selenium WebDriver test case. Selenium WebDriver test case. Okay, you can write element details also. Okay, just show this username, name available, name username, password,
yes,
name locator value password, login button, ID available, ID value, TDB1. You remember these values. Write Selenium test case. Build 3/admin. Just run the code. It has to launch admin interface. See admin interface launching. Next, continue, Mamata.
Sir, it's driver dot find element.
Driver dot find element by dot name. Next, username, small letters. See element locator value sensitive dot send keys. Admin input data. Admin. Next,
driver dot find
element by dot name value password
dot send
keys. Next,
password
admin at 123. Next, click login button. Driver dot
Driver dot
find element by dot
by
ID available. ID value TDB1.
TD dot
Next,
click.
operation click. Okay. Next, capture the URL and compare with expected. Capture the URL. Suppose
String name, string. We can
you
maybe
can first you capture the URL, then compare. Otherwise, you can compare directly.
if driver dot
Capturing and
find
comparing.
element.
Okay. First, I am taking into string URL
String
equals to
driver
driver dot get current URL
URL.
semicolon. Next, comparison. Just a minute. If
If if
if URL is string is object, you can apply methods. URL dot
equals to
equals what is that expected? This one index page. Next, any meaningful message. For example, admin login successful. Admin login successful passed. Next, else open curly braces. Admin login unsuccessful failed. Admin login unsuccessful failed. Okay. Run the at end driver dot close. Okay. Close we will use later. Run the program. What is the output? Observe admin login successful passed na Mamata?
yes sir.
Passed. Suppose use invalid input for negative testing. Suppose instead of admin A, it is invalid input. It has to show admin login unsuccessful, admin login unsuccessful. Just a minute. Run the program. It is showing admin login unsuccessful failed na.
Yes sir.
Okay, it is executing both the scenarios, positive scenario and negative scenario. But one more thing is there. Here we are not checking the negative scenario. I want to check this error message also. Here we are not checking the error message. We are just checking that login is successful or not. Suppose if login unsuccessful, it has to show some message. You capture that message and compare with expected. Getting this point, Mamata? Here we are checking only positive scenario, not negative scenario.
Yes sir.
Okay. In the next test case, we will check that one. Next test case. This is only positive.
Okay.
Just a minute. Suppose valid input. It will show successful, passed. See, login successful, passed. Just a minute. Okay. Next, take another test case. This time, Saloni. Can you guide me, Saloni?
Yes, sir.
7th test case. See, in the first test, 6th test case, verification point only for valid input. This time, verification point for valid and invalid inputs. See, verification point for valid and invalid inputs. Okay. Here, steps, we already used steps. Just a minute. See, these are the steps. Steps, okay. Next, here, verification points, two verification points. First verification point, just a minute. Verification points. See, in this test case, two verification points. First one, this one, positive. Capture the URL and compare with expected. This is first verification. Next, second verification. Second verification.
Error message.
Capture error message, capture the error message and compare with this one. This is expected. What is that one? Error. Invalid administrator login attempt. See. Capture the error message and compare with expected. What is the expected? Expected. Just a minute. This is expected. Two verification points. See, first one, up to the statement, login, click OK. You just use the old script and enhance. Here, input data also. Just a minute. Input data. Input data. Input data is there now.
Your username and password.
This is for positive scenario. Input data for first iteration. Next, input data for second iteration. Suppose instead of admin I am using India. It is invalid. Okay.
Okay,
Here observe Supriya. Here we can use different negative test data for negative scenarios. See, for any test any scenario, positive test case only one, but negative multiple. Observe positive scenario. See, positive test case. In this scenario, observe Supriya,
Yes, sir.
test scenario. Test scenario. Admin log into application. Admin login to application. Positive test case. What is positive test case?
Correct username and
Suppose
password.
if we use valid username, and valid password. If we use valid username and valid password, then positive test case. Next, negative test cases. Negative test cases. Suppose negative test case 1. Tell me negative test cases.
Invalid username.
Suppose invalid username,
Username.
valid
Valid
password.
password.
Valid password. This is one negative test case. Next,
Valid username, invalid password.
valid username. Just a minute. Valid username, invalid password. Valid username. Just a minute. Invalid password. Next,
Both invalid.
both invalid. Invalid username, invalid password. This is test case, negative test case 3. Next, suppose negative test case 4. Username blank. Suppose username blank. Valid password or invalid password. Next, test case 5. For example, valid username, password blank. Next, etc. You can write some more. Both are black, etc. Okay, now observe Supriya.
Yes,
Positive
sir.
and negative test cases. Say here I am taking first negative test case. First negative test case. If you want to perform all negative, if you want to conduct all negative test cases, for that data driven testing required, that we will discuss tomorrow. Today only one negative test case. Invalid username, valid password. See, that's why I
Okay.
used username invalid India, password valid. Okay. Now you continue Saloni. Selenium WebDriver test case. Selenium WebDriver test case. See up to this one, this test case. Just use this previous test case and enhance and modify this one. Guide me, Saloni.
Yes, sir.
Positive, okay. What about negative? Insert verification
Yeah.
point for negative also.
Yes, sir. Right.
Okay, you just wait. Supriya, can you tell me? We need to capture error message and compare with expected. When we get
Okay.
this error message,
Invalid username.
invalid user. How to know invalid username and password? If you won't get this URL, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Index page. If you won't get that URL, then error message.
Yes, sir. Else part.
Else part, not else part. Here, write one condition. Independent condition. If not if not URL dot equals observe Supriya.
Yes,
If you
sir.
are not getting this URL, then error message exists, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if you get this URL, then no error message. Login successful, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Uh, See, you can't check valid input or invalid input. You just check this URL.
URL.
Okay. Suppose if not so and so URL, then capture the message. One way condition.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if URL exists, then no error message. If URL not exists, then error. Error message equals to driver
Driver dot.
dot find element by dot inspect the element. Just a minute. Observe class name available now.
Yes, sir. Message stack.
Stack error.
error.
By dot class name of just a minute of class name value message stack error dot get text. Oh, one more bracket dot get text. Okay na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is independent condition, one way condition. Next, first verification, positive input. First, this is first verification, selected one. See, observe this 22nd line. This condition is not verification point, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Second condition, 26th line. This is verification point. Next, write else if also. Else if this time negative scenario. Negative scenario. Here compound condition required. First, if not URL dot equals, if not URL dot equals, this one, safe side I am writing compound condition, and operator, double ampersand, and continue Supriya.
No
Error
user.
message, error message dot, just a minute, why it is not showing context help. Error message not showing context help. Observe the problem. Observe the problem, Ritesh.
Mhm.
Why it is not showing?
Second, sir.
This variable is local variable na.
Yes.
This variable is local variable.
Local.
That's why it is not taking. Make it as a class level variable. For example, class level variable. Public static error message or type string type error message. Then you can use this variable. Here error message. Now try dot observe. Observe, Supriya, this time it is showing context help now. Now error message is global variable. You can use this variable for entire class. Earlier that is
Yes.
local variable, local to that first if condition. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Contains. I'm going to use error message. Where is contains? Contains
Yes, sir.
that value.
Contains.
Why I'm using contains instead of equals? See here, before error message one symbol also there now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That is complete text, complete value. That's we are comparing this text only. That's why I am using contains method. Okay na? If we use equals, what will happen?
It will take the symbol too.
Symbol also. That's why I am using contains method. Contains, already we captured that value na. Where is that value? This one. Invalid
Yes, sir.
administration administrator login attempt. Okay. Then admin login unsuccessful. This time admin login unsuccessful and showing correct error message and showing correct error message. Failed. Why it is showing ampersand? If not, one more curly brace. One more parenthesis. Now okay. Next, driver dot close. Still error.
No need to open one more, sir.
Pardon? Here we opened one error on this one.
Sir, on 33, yeah, on 33 line, there is one extra parenthesis.
33.
After else save,
Ah,
there is one extra parenthesis open, right?
just a minute. First we opened 2. Here close 1. Still
We opened 3.
just a minute. Here first we opened 1,
1.
2, next 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. How many we need to close? 2. One is
1.
at the end. 2 closed. Next again we opened 1, 2, 2 closed. Then where is the problem? One more here. Okay. Observe, Ritesh.
Yes, sir.
In this second condition, we
Mm-hmm.
opened 2, closed 2. This is last one for compound condition. First we open na
After
after end. Next,
and
now it is okay.
one for the main.
Run the
Sir,
program.
just
Ah,
in between to avoid these issues, like can we write the code in 2 lines
you increase
by
the volume.
no, just to avoid these issues, like
Ah,
can we write the code in 2 lines or more than 1 line
where?
here, like on line 30,
Line
on
30.
line
Ah,
38, it's a too long, right? So
too
just to
long.
increase the clarity,
Instead of
can we write
compound
the code in
condition,
the 2 lines
Ah,
or
ah.
okay, so just by entering or do we have to put like slash and something?
See, that we will discuss later. Now concentrate on this test case. Okay,
Okay, sir.
lengthy statement. What is your problem? Lengthy statement? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That we
Like,
will. Ah,
no, just to increase the clarity, I was asking if we can write the code in more than 1 line.
yes, you can write more than one line also.
Okay, but we'll discuss later.
Later we will discuss. See, now we focus on these conditions. If we discuss more concepts, then complex.
Okay, sir.
Run the program. Now, what is the input? Positive, valid inputs. What is the expected output?
login successful,
Login
passed.
successful. Login successful. Admin login successful. Passed. Next, invalid. Input. Suppose India. Run the program. It is not closing. Null pointer exception. Observer Ritesh, it is showing exception. Suppose if first condition is not true, then else if. What is the first condition? URL so and so. Then admin successful. It is showing null pointer exception. Error message. Look at the problem, Ritesh.
Yes, sir, I'm trying.
Suppose first use valid input. Admin. Okay. This scenario it is executing correctly. What is else part? Suppose if not so and so URL, if not so and so URL and error message contains this one, then admin unsuccessful.
Is it something wrong on the line 24th?
Just a minute.
We are using string.
exception is there. Line.
Line 24.
Just a minute. First, I will close this browser windows. Line 24.
Yeah. Can we remove the string and
Yes.
just give this
This is the
error message?
problem. Error. We already declared this variable as class level variable na class variable na class variable. So no need to use this one. Earlier, what happened earlier, Virat? Did you observe?
Null pointer error, sir.
Why null pointer? Just a minute. Here we are capturing string na, but we are not using this string. We are using another, this one, error message. This error message is class level variable. This one.
Class level. We have declared, correct.
We just declared, but no value. No value means null. That's why null pointer exception. We have to remove this one. Now, this is declaration. This is assigning value or reading data from application object. Next, here comparing the value. Okay na?
Yes, got it.
Run the program. Observe Mamata. Admin login unsuccessful and showing correct error message failed na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unsuccessful failed. Here you can write else part also, Ritesh. See this program is enough. This test case is enough. Here you can write one else part also. What is that else part?
For the line 23rd, like that else part.
Line 33.
33.
You can write else one more else part. Not one more. We used if, else if, next else. Suppose login unsuccessful, okay, but not showing correct error message. For example, that is another scenario, na?
Yes, sir.
That is another scenario. Suppose else just a minute. Admin login unsuccessful and not showing correct error message. This is also one scenario. Just a minute. Okay, you try to run this last one. Suppose my expectation, just I am changing my expectation. Run the program. Observe, Ritesh.
Yes, sir.
This is third path. Admin login unsuccessful, not showing correct error message. Earlier showing correct message. Suppose if admin login successful, it will execute first if condition. Run the program. Just a minute. Error message. Here error message not an issue.
Sir, we put the incorrect get expected, right?
Incorrect expected.
For the understanding purpose.
Run the program. This time login successful. Login successful. See, taking time. Okay, login successful passed. We executed all these 3 paths. Okay na Mamata?
Yes, yes.
Suleiman not responding.
Sir,
Ah,
sir, in can you show the first if
just a minute.
condition?
Just a minute. Tell me, Supriya.
Yeah, in first if condition,
If
what is the
first if condition is not belongs to verification point.
okay,
Why we used first if condition? In order to capture the error message. We cannot capture directly. We cannot capture error message directly. Why? After login unsuccessful only you can get error message. How you know login unsuccessful or not? You can check this
okay,
URL. If login successful, then you can get index page. Suppose
okay,
if
sir.
not so and so URL, if not that URL, then error message will be there. You capture that error message. What is the problem?
Okay, sir, I got it.
Okay. If
Okay, sir.
login fail, suppose if you don't write a condition, what will happen? You are directly capturing error message. Suppose login successful. Login successful means no error message na in that scenario.
Yes, sir.
No error message means it will show error or something. But if you write one way condition, if so and so URL not exist, then capture. If exists, it won't capture.
Okay, sir.
Any other? Tell me,
No,
Virat.
sir.
Try to understand the program. Say, in this test case, we used 2 verification points. First verification point for valid input, second verification point for invalid input. Okay, na?
Yes, sir.
Next, we already copied. Next, last test case, 8th one. See here, observe Ritesh. Every time we for every iteration means positive testing and negative testing. For valid inputs and invalid inputs, 2 iterations. For every iterations, we provided data. First iteration valid input, then we changed that data. Instead of that, you write logic. What is that one? Only no user interaction, positive and negative testing, continuously, 2 iterations continuously. Getting this requirement?
Uh, Not sure, sir. Can you explain once
Observe.
again?
See, earlier we conducted 2 iterations. One is for valid input, another for invalid input, isn't it?
Yes, for
First we
the
used
login functionality, right?
admin at 1, 2, 3. That is valid input. Next I used invalid username and password. I changed that data for second iteration. Here,
Yes.
tester interaction is mandatory. In next, use logic for 2 iterations. No user interaction. It has to conduct positive and negative testing continuously, one by one. No
Okay.
user interaction. For first iteration, it has to use valid inputs. For second iteration, invalid inputs. No user interaction. Getting my requirement?
Yes, sir. So it will be like a data-driven testing?
Data-driven testing only. Anyhow, we will discuss data-driven testing tomorrow. Here only 2 iterations na. Instead of resource. See, for data-driven testing, resource required. Resource means test data file. In this scenario, resource means test data file. Next, only 2 iterations na. Without using test data file, just provide the logic. Suppose if it is 5 iterations or 10 iterations, you can use test data file as a resource. Here only 2 iterations. Instead of using test data file, you just use logic. If it is 5 users or 10 users or 100 inputs, for that logic is very complex. For that you can use test data file. For large amount of data, you must use test data file as resource for data driven testing. Here only 2 iterations, 2 inputs,
So
2 sets of input. So just use logic. Tomorrow we will use test data file for data driven testing. Getting my point?
yes, sir.
Hmm.
So I think we can do with the for loop and using the array.
Yes. Earlier, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, we in cross browser testing also we used for loop na.
For loop. Yes,
For loop.
and we
Okay.
can provide the password and ID in the array, right?
Yes. Not array. Array not required. You can use 2 variables.
Okay.
If that what is that for loop and else if structure. Otherwise switch case structure, isn't it? Switch statement.
Yes, sir.
Say first try to use for loop and else if. See here 2 possibilities. You can use for loop and else if or for loop and switch statements. Okay. See, you know the test steps, expected, everything. Input data also we already used in previous test cases. Just Selenium WebDriver test case. Selenium WebDriver test case. Guide me. First declare variable. Suppose public string error message is there now. 2 more variables. Username. Next. Password. Next one optional variable. Iteration. Okay. Next for loop, where after main method statement, after main method, after main method, for I'm taking this one, int I equals to 1 semicolon, only 2 iterations na, I less than or equal to 2 semicolon I plus plus, open curly braces. Okay. Next, write condition if I equals to double equals to 1,
1.
open curly braces, close. Here, provide the data. Suppose username equals to admin, valid input. Next, password equals to
Admin at 1, 2,
admin
3.
at 123, semicolon. Okay. Next, this is first if. Next,
If I
else
equal
if,
to 2,
else if I equals to 2,
equal to 2,
open
then this
curly braces.
second
Just
test data.
this time use invalid input. Suppose instead of admin, India. Say we already discussed negative scenarios. We have so many negative scenarios. I am just using this first one, invalid username, valid password. Other scenarios also there. You can use, you can cover all these scenarios. You can cover all these scenarios in data-driven testing. For that, you need to use data file, test a data file that we will discuss tomorrow. Here only one positive scenario and one negative test. One positive scenario and one negative scenario. Username invalid, password valid, valid or invalid. Okay. Next, you take this for loop closing, where we need to, this one, after driver dot close,
No, I think before
before driver dot,
driver,
pardon?
before driver dot close.
Before driver dot close. Just a minute. Here one more also there. It is
So I
showing,
think
just a
in
minute.
the for loop we have to close one.
If close, else
At that,
else we didn't open this one. Now okay now? Still error.
sir, I think for loop, at the time of for loop you have opened and closed for loop
For loop
parenthesis.
just opened. If condition closed. Else if closed. Next, this is independent if. This is first verification point. Next, else closed. Else if closed, opened and closed. Next, else also opened and closed. Next, for closed. What is the problem? Why it is showing error? Driver. It is not recognizing driver. Why? WebDriver driver. Observe, Ritesh, it is not recognizing driver.
Because it's within the for loop.
In the for loop. Now okay na?
Yes.
Suppose if you write outside of the for loop, it won't recognize driver. Why? WebDriver. This driver
WebDriver.
creation of driver is within the for loop na?
Yes, but again, sir, if we want to open that browser every time,
Every time that we have to declare WebDriver as global, that we will discuss tomorrow. In tomorrow, we will execute batch, we will conduct batch testing for that global driver required. That time we declare static WebDriver driver. Then you can use driver, that driver object everywhere in the class, any block. You can use in any block. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
This time we are not using global driver.
Yep. And
Confusion?
on the 20, no, sir, on the 27th line, we have to use the
Yes.
username send keys.
Parameterize. Replace constant values with parameters. Parameterization. Parameterize means replace constant values with parameters. Here, what are the parameters? Username. Don't use double quotes for parameters. These are variables. Don't use double quotes. Okay. Next, I used one more iteration. Just a minute. Iteration. This is only for understanding. Iteration equals to iteration 1. Next, invalid input. Iteration 2. Iteration 1, iteration 2. You take this iteration here. Iteration, concatenate, next iteration, concatenate, just a minute. Okay. Okay na Ritesh? Okay na Supriya? Madhavi?
Yes, sir.
Run the program. First valid input as per our condition. Next, invalid input. Over. Observe Mamata. Iteration 1, admin login successful, passed. Iteration 2, admin login unsuccessful and showing correct error message, failed. Okay na?
Okay.
Observe Virat. Any confusion Virat? Prithvipal?
No, sir, I'm good.
Supriya? Supriya are not saying confidently.
Yes, sir. Sir, as of now, okay, but I think I need to practice.
You need to practice. Here, see, same logic we used in cross-browser testing chapter na?
Yes, sir.
Same logic we used. You try to understand that logic. Just a minute. Next, you guide me. Saloni. Saloni. You have to practice more Saloni. You are not responding properly. Instead of else if, did you attend a cross-browser testing chapter class, Saloni?
No, sir, I missed it.
You missed it, so you are not able to fulfill this requirement. Prithvipal, okay. Next, Virat, did you attend cross-browser testing chapter?
Sorry, I missed that, sir.
You missed just a day before yesterday. What about you, Mamata? Did you attend? Mamata.
Sir, I attended, but yes, I attended, but only off class I attended.
Of
Yeah,
course
I didn't remember
You
it.
attended. What about you? Ritesh attended. Okay. Supriya, you attended na? Cross browser testing
Yes,
chapter.
yes, sir.
Just guide me. This time I used for loop and else if structure. Observe. For loop, else if. Otherwise, you can use for loop switch structure. Instead of else if, use switch structure. Alternate, just alternate.
Okay, sir.
Instead of else if structure, use switch structure.
After for loop,
After for loop, switch,
switch
switch,
I or any variable.
Ritesh, just tell Ritesh, switch,
Case.
case next statement, switch,
Okay.
Which
Ritesh,
iteration?
Ritesh,
Yes, sir.
Which
switch,
username?
switch, continue Ritesh,
Uh, so there is no. So we'll take the value of I. So switch I.
switch I, okay,
And
switch
then
I,
case 1.
open curly braces, open curly braces. Next,
Yeah.
close curly braces also then, okay, you remove this one. Otherwise, write case, case,
Case 1
case 1,
colon
colon,
and break after line 20,
break,
and also
semicolon. Next,
yeah, case 2 on line 23rd.
case 2, colon, you remove this one. Case 2, okay,
And
break,
break after line 26.
after line 26, break. Next, okay na?
Yes, sir.
Observe Supriya, switch here, which one is iterating, iteration, I na?
Yeah, I, sir.
I
Yeah.
am taking. I first time, what is the first value of I as per that loop? What is the first?
Valid data.
I value, I am asking I value.
Sir.
What is the first, say for loop, this for loop for 2 iterations. What is the I value for first iteration? I value for first iteration.
It's starting from 1.
1. So that's why I used case 1. Case 1 means this valid input. Next, second time I value 2. Then it will execute case 2. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Invalid.
Yes.
Invalid
See,
data.
this switch structure is alternate for else if structure. Alternate for else if structure. Run the program. See, first time valid inputs. Second iteration invalid data. Observe Madhavi. First iteration admin login successful passed. Second iteration admin login unsuccessful but showing correct error message failed only. ఓకేనా?
Okay, sir.
మమత, సలోని.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm following.
Okay, Saloni,
Yes, sir.
did you understand this logic? Earlier we used else if. For loop same. For loop common.
Yes, sir.
Earlier we used else if. This time switch structure. See, this switch is alternate for else if. You practice these scripts. If you find any
Okay.
difficulty, and mail me. Okay na?
Sure. Okay, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow we will discuss some more test cases. Today I'm going to close the session. Any queries, Mamata, regarding today's class?
No, sir. Yeah, good.
Next.
No, sir.
Okay. Next, Prithvipal Singh, any queries?
Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm good.
Cool. Ritesh?
No issue, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Saloni?
Yeah, I'm okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Suleiman? Suleiman, any queries?
Oh no,
Okay.
I didn't get time to. I will go through the video and
Okay.
maybe okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Supriya?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, sir.
Okay. You practice. Next, Virat?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Okay. See, we will meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.